Welcome to the Birdhouse podcast, where we talk about how to build a business, how to become a better version of ourselves, while we strive to fly up to the higher skies. My name is Alexander Guller, the CEO of the Birdhouse Agency, and I'm your host for this podcast. Welcome to the Birdhouse. Welcome to the Birdhouse podcast. Today with me I have Stephen and Wynne, and today's question is, opportunity trap. Do you know when to say no and when to say yes? So, today's topic is a lot about choosing when you have to say yes and when you have to say no about your own time, about what is an opportunity, what can trap you, and so on. So, Stephen, whenever you make a decision such as that, what are some of the thoughts that you have?
So when I make any decision, whether it's say going into insurance, doing marketing, hanging out with girlfriends, playing on the computer, whatever this works from personal life to business life, for me, there's a couple things. It's like, okay, what is the return, the ROI on it? Is it money? Is it pleasure? Is it energy? Like when you decide to sleep for 6 to 8 hours or however long you need, like your ROI there is that you energy and healing. Mm-hmm. That's what your return is on sleep. Hence why everyone has to sleep. When playing video game, it's hey, I need to shut off my brain for a little bit and just use a different part of it. And so it's more pleasure based. When like making a business decision, for me, it's like, okay, how much time and how much money am I able to get from it? And how much effort am I able to do? And eventually, can I delegate it? That is the questions that I ask whenever making business decisions, because I might be a master tactician, but in order to grow my business, I need to make a system or a way to delegate it. Otherwise, how am I going to grow? So if you go, okay, I want to make a IT company and I'm the one building the computers, and somebody comes in, and this is covered a lot in the E-Myth as well, the book. It's, okay, I want to make the computers. I want to know how the cable management's done. I need to know exactly where every zip tie is. And you bring somebody on and they help you start building computers and they mess up on one. Are you going to be mad at them, or are you going to go in and micromanage them? So this is, I guess, also Simon Sinek with the like micromanagement versus like people that are good in management, which is letting the people make their own decisions and have their own consequences because of it. Mm-hmm. And so, I guess with all of that, like a decision with, I'm going to Memphis for a wedding. Actually, right after I have a doctor appointment right now, but after that, I'm driving 8 hours. The return on that is, one, I get good drive time with my girlfriend. We get to talk. Like, we just haven't had time to do that with the holidays. And like, I get to see family, and my like return is like, okay, I'm getting like pleasure. I'm getting a little time off, a little time to decompress and continue going.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. Yes. So I think definitely knowing what is the return is the request that you go out and party all night and drinking a whole lots of alcohol, meaning that you will have a hangover next day, which means that you can't work the whole day. Is that a good return on investment? I don't think it is. Not always, at least. And sometimes it's fun to have like another thing to do and maybe do that, but when you have to know what your return on investment is, your ROI. You have to definitely know what you're getting out of it, because the time we have is quite limited. So
yeah, and again, I just want to re-emphasize the ROI does not have to be money. It might be time saved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And maybe maybe you don't know always what the ROI is.
Yeah,
like you can help people without like getting a specific ROI other than getting oxytocin, which makes us happier and so on. Mm-hmm. But but it can turn out way better than expected. You can actually the person that you help day 1 can come back on day 500 and give you a goddamn car or something. People remember a good gesture. So also it's also about making sure that you always also keep positive, and maybe you don't know always what the ROI is, but make sure that it's a positive one, and maybe that it can also grow and be more than what you have bargained for instead of lesser.
Absolutely.
Because I think you also often know if there's a possibility for what you have bargained for, what you are hoping for is going to be less, or if it's probably going to be more than that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's okay to say no to okay to say no to opportunities.
Oh yeah.
Like people, like I guess last week we talked about the like personalities and the agreeableness of that. And like it's okay to say no. It's okay to be a no person in company. Granted, you can't just fight tooth and nail your whole time, but like positions I've been in the past of whenever I was helping the startup, like I was not a yes man. I was the person in the company that was hey, this is a crappy idea. We shouldn't do this. Now, if you modify it, it can be better. But so I was that person. Everyone else on the team was very yes person to the boss. Like yes, we'll get this done. Yes, we can figure out how to do it. Yes, this. And I was sitting there like, you're an idiot. Get your stuff together. And that was my job in the company. I'm very low on the agreeableness scale because I'm a person that goes, okay, there's a better option out there. Granted, if it's the best that we can do at this time, fantastic. But if not, then get the crap out of here.
Yeah. And also, like, there's a million ideas that you can go and do, but like, there's only a handful of them, and that is actually good ideas to do. Like, yeah. I can go out ice skating. I can go out, take a run. I can go out and do whatever. But if it doesn't align with any of the goals that I want, like, of course, running is good cardio, but ice skating is like, yeah, it's fun, but maybe you don't need to do that, and that's just also free time. Yeah, that's way more in business as well.
Yeah, for like ice skating, you also have to look at it. For me, I can't do ice skating as much anymore because I dislocated my ankle because I don't have the stability. So it's also a different type of exercise. Now, if you're just going to stand there on ice, that's also something different. But for me, anytime I go rollerblading, I'm going ice skating, anything like that, I'm a person that's acts like I'm a hockey player during that.
All right. Well, actually, did you dislocate your ankle from hockey?
Like, no, I did it from basketball.
From basketball, okay. Well, that's also an ankle breakup.
So, funny story on that. So, my best friend for like life, we finally we're hanging out in the same city like after high school. First time we played basketball together in years. We were playing with a group, and we're both like pretty good basketball players. And so we were playing, like, we were guarding each other because that's what we do. And I just have had a lot more injuries, so I haven't been able to like keep everything in my body amazing. And so I didn't expect him to go as hard as he did the first play. I kind of was expecting like, okay, we're going to warm up a little bit and get a lot tougher at the end of the game because that's usually how it goes. But he was like, nope, I'm going hard first. So he gets by me. I recover. Then I actually blocked him. And then as I landed like I always do. I landed feet, like just exactly how I do. And just my ankle just said, yeah, no. But he always denies that I block him on that injury. And he's like, you only tipped the ball. I'm like, did you miss the shot because I touched the ball after you left your hands? Yes. That's a block.
That's a block. that's definitely a block.
Yeah, and he's like 6'3" and I'm 6 foot, and I'm still able to like keep up with all of him with that, and so.
Damn! It's just Steven the God. Get down.
I surprisingly played a post player growing up and then switched to the guard position. So I play bigger than I am. So I play like I'm a 6'3", 6'5" dude when I'm a 6 foot dude.
Oh, okay, cool. That's actually
Which is weird.
quite fun though. Okay.
I have a lot more skills than most players, so.
Sorry?
I just have more skills than most players with that because I'm not trying to do all the fancy dribble moves or whatever. I'm like, I know how to get to the hole. I know how to finish around the hole, and that's where I'm going to go. I can pop up and shoot. I can take the ball down the court or anything like that. But anyway, let's get back on topic.
Yeah, well, but actually, to keep on that road, it's also knowing on the basketball which decision you want to make, because as you said yourself, you know how to play. So let's just keep to that and do it until it works, because that's more of an opportunity, because you can actually keep on scoring that way.
Yeah, and so whenever I was a coach, that's what I was trying to teach my players. I was like, look, you can score by shooting threes all game, or you can go and be creative, and you're going to get better opportunities and score more points because of it. And it's hard to like ingrain that in kids' heads that it's like the one thing that I'm good at is not always the best option.
Yeah. Also.
So I don't know, business wise, like I'm very good at speaking. Like I'd much rather get up, give a presentation on a system, that kind of thing. But it also might be advantageous for me to write an email sometimes, to follow up text, to do all of that. And that's not my forte. My forte is being in the meeting, being a strategist. That's what I'm built to do.
Yeah.
But the best strategy might be an email afterwards asking a question instead of in front of a big group presentation.
Exactly, and that's also knowing when to say yes and when to say no, because you need to have a well-rounded game. You need to know how to do other stuff, but if you can do it, it's much better to play to your own strengths. But you need to have a well-rounded game. I think it was Kobe Bryant who maybe LeBron James. I think it was Kobe, which was like he always tried to play to his weak side, because he wanted to make sure that wasn't the thing that he lost on. So then he wanted to get a well-rounded game, and the thing is, you have to have an understanding. You get to a level of understanding of what the people that you hire do. But after that, you can just rely on them to do it. You have to you have to
trust your teammates.
Yeah. But you also have to be able to like watch it and manage it if it goes out of the way that you want it to. Yeah. So you have to have enough experience in that field to know when and which.
And what I guess I'm thinking for like players or business wise, like what I've learned is the skilled players don't need as much of a system to play. So if I can go drive to my right, drive to my left, shoot a three, get back somebody down in the post, if I can do all of that, I don't need as much a play to get around and do all of this. But same thing like a average role player, they need the play to go set up for the skilled player to finish. Like you have to have those pieces moving around. And if you don't have any like super skilled players, if you're able to plug a player into a system and it works. Like granted, they have to learn how to close and anything like that. They have to learn to make a basket, anything that way. But like if there's a system in place and you're able to train people to come into a system better than you're able to train a skilled player. And so that's why, like, whenever coaches, it's like you have to have personal training with the skilled player, but you have to have an hour-long team practice. And that practice is building around, okay, what's our best way to win? What's the best way to get that skilled player in a position to score? Same thing. It's like, okay, how do we get our best closer to get into deals? We get somebody who can build the front end of that pipeline and get people through the door, so then he can take it on from there.
Yeah.
And that's how you do that.
Yeah. Definitely, and you have to play to each other's strengths, but you have to make sure that the individual level is high enough so that you can actually also play the system, but also be play outside of the system and still win. Yeah,
like that's why we have scripts.
Yeah.
Anyone can play into the script.
Yeah, but you still need the experience to go off the script and also like know what the principles behind the behind sales is, so you can navigate it. Yeah. And also the more skilled you are, the less dependent you are on the system.
Yes.
So you have way more maneuverability when you are skilled and experienced.
And then you provide more value. At the beginning, your value is getting people through the door.
Yeah.
The farther you go in, your value to the business goes up because you go, okay, I know what these products are, I know how to do them, and I know that you know stuff. And so rather than saying, hey, I'm Steven, do you have time to meet? I'm going to bring a teammate alongside me. Then you can say, hey, I'm able to sit down. Okay, what does this mean for your company? Where is this going? Is this an ROI return for you? Are you able to attract people with your marketing? Are you able to attract people with having a insurance plan, like a retirement plan? Like, would that help get you people? And so it's just a different mindset shift of people. And a lot of people can't make that like individual player to team mindset to like manager level. That's why like Peyton Manning, I'm going to use him. He's a great QB quarterback. He was an amazing player. Like one of the top 10 players, like QBs of all time. He was awful at developing somebody under him. He's not the best coach. He's an amazing player, but his like coaching ability is not strong. And so he had that struggle coming from that technician to the management.
Yeah.
Same with Michael Jordan.
Okay. But, with the technician to the manager, that's also a lot of people that want to be bakers and start their own bakery. What they don't understand is like you don't keep on being a baker. Now you're a business owner. And now you don't only you not only bake, you also have to bake, sure, but you also have to market. You also have to take customers. You also have to sell and so on, and manage some other people that you also have to have in the bakery. So when people think they just want to be a baker and start a shop, it's no, you're not just a baker anymore. Now you're a manager, business owner.
Yeah,
you have to make sure that it goes smooth.
If you're a baker and you want to do a shop, but you only want to do the baking, get somebody to do all your management. Like, that's okay to be an owner and the technician can be the owner of the company. You just have to hire people to cover where you're weak.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why you have to get a team. That's the importance of a team. Like, you cover each other, and you still have specific roles, but you cover each other's weaknesses.
Absolutely.
All right. So back to the topic. I think one of the things that you also have to consider when you talk about when to say yes and when to say no is, are you sacrificing more than you actually think you are sacrificing? Because let's say that you ask me for, hey, can you come and look for this copy, writing this email I'm going to send out? Do you think that's a good idea? And you ask me that, can I come over for 5 minutes? And it's like, no, maybe not, because if I say yes, I'm actually being very reactive to what you are doing, and also disturbing my own flow. Whereas if I say no to you, and because I know I have to finish what I'm working on myself, I have to finish my walking or my running and so on, it can actually interrupt. You can actually sacrifice way more by saying yes to 20 minutes of me going to Steven and saying hi and watching something and going home, than actually just saying no in the beginning. not only do you have to know what the return on your investment is, you also have to know what the price you are paying actually are, and how much that price can actually go up. So that's definitely one thing you also have to consider, because also nowadays I can't remember the exact numbers, the exact study, but whenever you get like distracted, it takes about 15 minutes before you're fully focused again, and that's actually one of the reasons why the phone is such a bad thing in schools nowadays, because people have the phones in their pockets, and they get a notification and they check, and that means they have lost their focus for 15 minutes. They can't learn properly, so to speak. And in 15 minutes, they're going to get another notification, and that's just an endless loop. But
that's why, for me, every day, like when I wake up, I wake up, I don't know, 5 o'clock every day, and I usually have an hour and a half of like uninterrupted time, because guess what? No one else is awake. No one's there to disturb me. I'm not getting emails. I'm not getting texts. Like, I'm just able to get stuff done.
Yeah,
and that's also good throughout the day of saying, hey, after lunch, I need an hour to do this. Put your phone on mute, put it on silent, whatever you need to do. Even turn it off, like, unless like you need it for like looking up information. But guess what? You have a laptop for that as well.
Yeah, just leave it outside the room.
The world is gonna be back when you go there.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the chance that the world is ending in 1 hour is quite low.
Yeah,
but
you know, nowadays I don't know anymore. Like 1 second Betty White's live, next second she's dead, and the whole world goes to crap.
Yeah, and that's just how it is. That whenever you get left on red, that's definitely what happened.
100%. I'm trying to remember. There's somebody that was baking the same type of bread when like another like huge celebrity died, and Betty White, and their friend was like, "Coincidence? I think not. Let's not bake that bread again."
Really? Oh, that's stupid. That's so stupid. What the hell?
Yeah.
But yeah. So actually, you first of all, you need to know your return on your investment. But you also need to know the price you're paying, the sacrifice. And whenever you have a decision, you do something, it's actually compound interested. Because whenever you do anything, you get better at that. So if you're saying yes to go and spend an hour with some of your friends and having fun, that means that hour you could invest, so to speak, in your own skills. That extra hour can make a big difference in the total, because you didn't get the extra hour that early interest, so to speak.
Let's do some simple math here. An hour a day, that's 365 hours a year.
Yeah.
And that's what? 25 days, that's almost a month worth of time that you're spending on whatever it is. And so, like, if you want a month back of your time and say, hey, instead of watching this hour-long YouTube that's about cats falling downstairs and landing on their feet, I don't know, just some that might be every once in a while, like, what you need is watching 5 minutes of that. But like, if you do an hour of that a day, like, what if you take that hour, put your phone away, and read a book, do something about a skill? Like, you will become a master tactician in that in a very short amount of time. And say that 360 hours that you do, like, your time is worth, like, say $50 an hour. That's a ridiculous amount of money each year that you're leaving on the table.
Yeah.
So that's $600 a month. That's actually, might be doing the calculations wrong.
Well, the thing is always also that everything's a decision. Like when you sit on a toilet and scroll through Instagram, that's your choice.
Yeah.
Like you can actually spend
You're
that,
leaving.
you can spend that time on reading. Like if you sit 5 minutes on, if you spend each of the 5 minutes that you spend on the toilet for like a month, you will get so far in a book. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
If 2 times a day for a month, that's for 30 days. That's 300 times. 300 times, I suppose. For 300 minutes, that's a lot. Like, wait.
Yeah. So
I missed that.
So say if you do it, an hour a day, $50 an hour, because your time is honestly worth more than that if you're doing the right thing. That's $18,000 a year, which in 5 years, that's $100,000 that you're leaving on the table. So say if you did that and you made money, even $20 an hour, you $10,000 a year. Yeah. What can you do with that? Can you put that in a saving? Can you start that as a down payment on your car? Like, what return can you get for that instead of just sitting there and scrolling or whatever?
Yeah. And also figuring out what your like hourly wage is, so to speak. It's also quite good for the ease of the exam. Let's say you have your time is $20. Your time is worth $20 an hour. Let's just say that, and you spend 1 hour scrolling. If you were an employer, would you be happy that one of your employees that you spend $20 on just scroll through Instagram that whole hour? No. So you also have to think about yourself that way, because would you pay somebody else to that amount of money for that amount of work?
Yeah. Sometimes what's sad is some people think like, okay, I'm worth, say, $15 an hour. They're working, say, a retail job. The retail owner says it's worth that person sitting there doing nothing if it's a slow time for one customer to come in versus that guy's wage. And so if you're sitting there for $15 an hour, and even if you're scrolling on Instagram or even doing work, like, that's kind of sad that you're worth that amount of money for one customer to come in during a slow period.
Yeah.
Like, why doesn't the owner just close the store for an hour or two whenever it's not busy? And so it's just kind of a thing where it's like, okay, what is your worth? Like, for me, I know my worth is way more than that. I charge for 30 minutes somebody $100 for that. Like, and that's what, like, for now, that's what I think like I'm worth in a business strategy session.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so know your worth and to be able to say no whenever you get offered less, so to speak.
Yeah,
exactly. And we go back to the return on your investment. Like, that's the same thing.
It's okay to say no to bad customers as well.
Yeah,
like, no matter what that person is paying you, a bad review is not worth almost any amount of money, because that's reputation.
And also, like, if you sacrifice your own peace of mind or guilty or your own conscience, that's no good.
Yeah.
So, and some customers are like fucking bad and fucking terrible and shouldn't be able to be served. I can just see your eyes light up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've dealt with my fair share of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you just say, okay, I'm done. Goodbye. This is not worth my time, your time, my company's time.
Yeah. Bye.
Deuces.
See ya. And just for business sense, that it's also very powerful to walk away. Like, it really is.
Yeah, because you put yourself in a position of power instead of
instead of desperation, because if you don't need them that much, it's okay for you to walk away. Yeah. Actually, I think the funniest about a bad customer I've experienced, it was not actually me that experienced it, but back when I was working in Legoland at a food store. I was in the kitchen making food, and we had some people in the front, seating people and servicing and being a waiter. And one of the things we also had tables outside, and we were a buffet, and so you went through the doors quite much because you wanted to go get food. And we had some customers outside who, of course, went through the doors, and some other customers who were just sitting next to the doors to the outside, and they actually like shut the door for the other customers. And whenever we like tried and go over and like speak to them, and my colleague there was like, they were so mad on us and everything, and like they shut actually other customers out. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, that's just a pure like menace where you're just like, and get out of Legoland in general.
Yeah,
like.
exactly. I think that was about what we did. I can't remember. I think we called the guard and was like, leave now.
Yeah, because there's definitely some people in this world that just have honestly evil intentions, and I don't understand why. Like, why do you need to make people's lives around you miserable because you feel miserable inside?
Oh yeah.
Like,
and the worst thing about adopting that mindset about the world is miserable, you only make it way more miserable for everybody. So yeah,
it's like if you make yourself 5% better or 5% worse, that has a 1% impact on somebody, and that 1% over time like erodes somebody away. Like that's why like chronic illness sucks, because it's like every single day you're dealing with something.
Yeah.
And so that's that 1%, and that 1% over time is devastating versus saying, okay, I'm making myself 10% better. So I'm making you 1% better because I'm directly in contact with you.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, like even if it's like 0.0005% each day that you make progress, that you like get better, in the end that's so much you get better. Like after 1 year, that's maybe after 10 years, I don't know if you want to take that scale. You get so much.
It depends on what your starting amount is.
Yeah. You get so much exponentially better, and also if you like plan your day, plan your week, plan your month, and you like, let's say you hit it with 50% accuracy. Like, okay, that's fine. That's quite good. Like maybe you only hit it with 20% accuracy. If you just keep on planning and trying to hit it, maybe the next day you hit it by 20.1%, and the next day 20.2%, and like over a year you can get up to like 80% maybe of accuracy.
Yeah.
And like a whole day of doing what you want to do 80% of the time. That's like that's quite good. You can get better, but if you get 80% accuracy on the things that you need to do and you actually do them, that's you can get a long way with that. Only that actually.
Yeah. Everyone's effectiveness like is an exponential thing, and so if you're 50% effective and I'm 30%, like that 20% difference might mean you're gonna be going much farther than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm gonna use tennis player Roger Federer. He increased his point win ratio by 5% and became from a mediocre to the best player in the world. I think it was like 2.5%, because he went from a like 49%, like anytime he went into like a match, like any given point he had a 49% chance of winning. He went from a 49% to a 52%. And that little difference, like you see that and you're like, that's very inconsequential. Like that shouldn't be that much. But that went from him, meaning he had a little under 500 rating, to having one of the best like in the world, because guess what? Any match he goes into, he has a better percentage than the other person.
And also, let's say you play 100 matches. Like, each of those 100 matches that you have, the more the better chance of winning.
Because like with how tennis works, especially, is because it's based on you have each game that you like win or lose, it's based on points. And those points are like, you go 0, 15, 30, 40, and then like deuces and all of that. So if he's just winning half of that, he can go into overtime at each point and eventually beat that person out. Yeah. So even though, because it's a war in the trenches, and that's what he learned, and that's how he became better.
Yeah. And yeah, so like, maybe the number isn't small, but the impact is quite big. And so like there's so much exponential growth in saying no, because you know that 1 hour that day can make sure that you get, I don't know, $100,000 more in a couple 5 years, in the next couple of years. Like, it's and that's the thing about exponential. It grows larger. So
yeah, you don't realize what the impact's going to be until you hit it.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to do the math right now, but if you there's like a new example of like investing in stocks, and you like investing in the most like common thing with the 7% or 10% interest return each year. If you invest,
the S&P 500, 7.5.
Yeah, exactly. And if you invest $100 for 20 years, and each month for 20 years, and $100 for each month for 30 years, the difference between 30 and 20 is about $700,000.
Yeah. It's like it's a person that starts retirement at our age, like retirement saving, versus somebody who starts it when they're 30. Yeah. Granted, I want to use that retirement saving to put into equity money, because I think a saving retirement account is not as big as getting things that make you passive income. Oh yeah. But like for like the general American or general European, like that is a smart financial decision, because they can put $20 away for starting at 20 and make more money than putting $100 a day at age 30.
Yeah, exactly. And well, of course,
I guess a month, not a day. But well,
that's quite good if you can do it each day.
$20 a day, that'd be
that's sure. Some people can do it.
$15,000 a year, I guess, that you're saving.
Yeah, exactly. So that's quite a large amount, and so on. So yeah, the difference in interest makes a big difference, and so I think that's actually a quite good place to start. So whenever you have a decision, you need to make sure that you know what you're getting, the return on your investment, and you also know what you're sacrificing. You also have to know what you're sacrificing, but also whatever you are sacrificing, you have to think about the exponential effect. Like, things can grow so much out of hand, but you have to make the initial steps so it can begin to grow. So I think that's definitely one of the things that we want everybody to learn about whenever you make a decision. So everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for listening to the Birdhouse Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, follow me on my Instagram @thebirdhouseagency, and share it to your friends and family, or rate it on Apple Podcast or Anchor. My name is Alexander Gulager, and I will see you at the next episode.